Good afternoon. My name is Raquel Cotrina Rodriguez, and today I present to you my project that I developed during my professional training in type continuous at Edelmira del Pando School. My professor was Zoila Landeo Chose. The title of my project is called Listen for Gist, Specific Information and Detailed Understanding as a Teaching Strategy for Listening Skills Development. Why am I doing this project? What's the justification of this? Well, in order to achieve improvement in the low performance situation in listening comprehension capacity in the students of Edelmira del Pando. To do this, the strategy I propose is composed of 3 moments or 3 different levels of listening comprehension, which are worked in class and which help to develop listening comprehension activities more fully. What are the objectives of this project? Well, the first one is to get the improvement of development of listening skills in class. As a second one, the promotion of autonomy in foreign language learners. And the third one is help listening skill to develop naturally and properly, not only in class but also outside the classroom. Execution. Well, this project was presented in 3 different stages, as I previously said. The first one was introducing basic questions that can summarize general ideas after hearing to an audio in a listening activity. Here we have an example. After the students listen to the audio, they are asked to solve these 3 basic questions. How many people are talking? What are their names? Who are they? What are their professions? What are they talking about? From this, the students will be able to summarize or get a general idea or gist from the audio. The second stage is introducing checking comprehension questions. In this section, students pay attention to details. So they might need to hear the audio again to verify if the sentences are correct or not. Maybe an example of this is to put a tick, check right, true or false, to match some specific information or complete charts. As a third stage or level, we have call for use of critical thinking, infer information, and this level acts as a freer practice. Since here, students can express a little more, they have more autonomy, and they can interact with other students. They can make inferences, create conclusions based on the audio, what happened to that person, or maybe create their own personal experience. Here we have an example as a group work. Ask and answer questions with your classmate and then report. Have you ever traveled to any department in Peru? Where have you traveled to? Some achievements and difficulties I got and I found were: I got the active participation in class from students, improvement in development of listening skills. Some difficulties were technical. Also, the students found kind hard to get used to the new working method. And development of listening skill activities were a step-by-step process. The alternatives I proposed to face these difficulties were to use other platforms to present homework, to consider participation through WhatsApp, to add some games to introduce this new way of working, a listening skill, listening activity, and to adequate the amount of activities I gave the students and fine-tune themselves. Some resources and educational materials I used were Google Meet, Google Drive, Google Classroom, Jamboard, WordWall, Bamboozle, British Council, and Aprendo en Casa. As a critical appraisal, I can say that improvement is the headline of every work, and also of this project. Though this project worked pretty well, it's important to mention that it wasn't efficient at 100% of students. Thus, new strategies must be attached to this method of listening activity development. As conclusions, I can say that making proper use of this strategy, learners will be able to catch essential, vital, relevant, and only the required information according to what is being asked of them. It goes along with the objective of every section of a listening activity, and it will help the learners to feel more confident when working with audio resources. Some suggestions are: discovering new strategies is the key when it comes to teaching. And even though this strategy came in handy during the teaching training, there are some aspects that need to be covered when developing a listening skill. Most strategies must be attached for the benefit of the students. I would like to finalize this presentation by sharing with you this quote: "To teach is to learn twice." And that's what the pandemic situation has taught us, to change our ways of teaching to a virtual context. Thank you so much.